Folks, it is the week of Valentine's Day, the most romantic and commercial holiday that there's ever been. And to do that, here at So Bad It's Good, we are going to be celebrating by doing a movie recap of what is potentially some of your like most romantic movie of all time. Some of you people think this. I don't know if I necessarily think this, even though it's an amazing movie. But here, if we ever do movie recaps, there's only one person we do that with, and that is the host of Adderall and Compliments, the one and the only Annabelle DeSisto. Annabelle, is your heart going on today for Titanic?
I prefer the unsinkable Annabelle DeSisto, but that's okay.
That's a little reference to the unsinkable Molly Brown from that Kathy Bates plays in the 1998 movie Titanic by James
Kathy
Cameron.
Bates is a true national treasure. Like, that's who
You know what?
Nicolas Cage should have been hunting for.
You know what
She
scared
is a
me?
national treasure.
Wait, you know what scared me about Kathy Bates seeing her? Because I remember seeing this when I was younger, thinking Kathy Bates was an older actor at that point. And so when Kathy Bates popped up again, I was like, holy shit, is Kathy Bates like 100 years old? Like, because I got really scared. Like, I went and I was like, oh, fuck, Kathy Bates. Because she just signed on to do the Matlock TV show. She's going to play Matlock in a reboot on NBC. But I was like, how old is Kathy Bates now? Because I want Kathy Bates to live forever because she's amazing.
I know to do it. That's like something now
That's something now. She just signed on. They're doing Matlock, the old Andy Griffiths actor played Matlock back in the day, and now she's playing Matlock.
Okay, I like know the name of the show. Like, it's kind of like MASH. Like, I don't know. Like, I know the name of it, but I don't know.
Yeah, it was like an old school lawyer detective. But now it's not a man anymore; it's a woman. And Kathy Bates
so kind
is
of like
Matlock.
the lawyers like that you grew up with, like the lawyer that like your generation grew up.
Yeah,
with.
exactly.
My generation was Elle Woods. Yours was Matlock.
Yeah. Listen, no, it is funny because I was alive when the actual Titanic, when it actually sailed back in 1914.
With The Ring, how I said, I'm like that, how every generation, I like that me and you do movies that like really hit with like our time, like that we grew up in. It's like with The Ring, when I said it's like my generation was like The Ring and yours was Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. And it's like my generation growing up, Titanic was mine. And then Ryan had Casablanca. And it's just so amazing that we get to combine this.
I remember when Titanic first set sail, and it's so beautiful that they made a movie about this. This came out in 1998. I mean, everybody saw this movie at the time. You had to see this movie if you lived on this planet Earth. When did you first see this movie, Annabelle?
I saw this movie when I was in third grade, and Nancy, my mom, took me. And it's the only movie that she's ever like covered my eyes in during like the car scene.
When they're boinking in the car? Eyes. I thought she covered it when all those people died. All those people needlessly died. She let you watch that, but she was scared of you watching them hump in like a little car.
I'm like, I got to watch Braveheart over and over, and they have like that like nude like pond scene, you know, like where like their body, like the steam is coming off their bodies. And like,
I don't remember. I do not remember the steamy Braveheart scene.
Okay, you don't remember the steamy butt? Okay, there's steam. That sounds very gross, but it's very romantic and Braveheart. But like, I got to see Braveheart, no problem. But during the Titanic automobile erotica scene, she put her hands over my eyes. I'm like, why didn't you put your hands over my eyes during like the Irish peasant scene? Like, well, like she's like teaching those things. That is way more like horrifying. That's disturbing. That's inappropriate.
Yeah. Well, so you guys and spoiler alert, if anybody doesn't know, the Titanic doesn't get back to New York. It sinks. It hits an iceberg. And also, spoiler alert, Jack Dawson, who Leonardo DiCaprio plays, he dies in this. He dies, and it's really, truly one of the saddest. And by the way, it is one of the biggest crimes in motion picture history. There are so many, in rewatching this, it reignited my anger. Because even when I saw this the first time in 1998, I still, and the obvious thing, a lot of people will say this, there is enough room on that fucking piano lid or that door, whatever the hell she was sprawled out on the very end. There was
piano lid. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, the piano lid.
Well, whatever the hell she was like laying on, she is sprawled out. You can clearly see it. And the fact is, people are like, no, it would have sank that piano lid. But like, you don't even try. You don't even try. Listen, even be polite and go, hey, let's try to get you on. And then if you like, then like, oh, it's gonna sink. Okay, I guess you'll die. Like then, but like she doesn't even try. He's like,
No, don't, they tried like one time. They tried like one time and it doesn't work. Honestly, like floating things, because everyone says like the door thing that they both could have fit. Have you ever even tried to get on something that is made to be sat on that is like inflatable? Remember those swans that everyone like that used to like the inflatable swans that used to be a big hit, which like I don't know if the youth of America still like goes on these like inflatable swans in the pool.
yeah,
Now it's like there's like inflatable avocados and shit, like like
yeah,
when I see it on
yeah.
Target.
Pool
But
toys, yeah.
they're like stuff is very hard to get on. Even stuff that is like made to be like sat on by multiple. It is very hard, let alone something that is not made that is
Well,
not made for
Annabelle,
that
at
purpose.
least leave that conversation in the movie of like, oh my God, this is so hard. I'm trying to do it. But also, like, wouldn't we throw out some like other contingency plans? Like, how about you lay on it for 10 minutes, then I'll lay on it for 10 minutes,
Oh, a
and then
switch
you lay on
off.
like a switch off. And the thing is, then she has the balls to fall asleep. She goes to sleep. This guy's hanging on for dear life, and she goes to sleep. And I know I'm skipping to the end, but she's like, the fucking bullshit line of the whole film is never let go. She literally lets go. You literally watch this poor Jack who won. Oh, he won a ticket on this through some like stupid poker game. He wins a ticket. Never let go, Jack. And then she lets go. And then what is the angriest you were during this movie? Because I found a new point that I was angry during this movie. What was it for you?
The angriest is the first time I saw Rose. Now, granted, I'm like, I truly believe that Rose is one of the most evil, if not the most evil period women of all cinema in all of
Wait, you
cinema
got
history.
angry when she comes out of the car with her big hat? That was the angriest?
Yeah, the start of the hat, like which like is like this, it is, how I feel about James Cameron, which is not positively.
Wait,
But
why?
it is,
Wait, why do you not feel positively about James Cameron?
I just think he's such a dickhole, like Avatar and everything. I'm
Wait,
not a fan.
you have a problem with the Navi people? Have you seen Avatar, Annabelle?
No, I won't. It is Fern Gully, but CGI. Like it is a ripoff of Fern Gully, and I refuse. I'm a contrarian, and I refuse to support him in Avatar. I refuse to support. Like I can't believe it's
Wow.
like the biggest movie in the world. I refuse to support it.
Have you seen Terminator 2, another James Cameron film?
No, I
Okay. Have you
I
seen Have you seen The Abyss?
no.
Have you seen Aliens? Oh wow.
You
Okay.
know how much I love like actual aliens. But I saw
Yeah.
True Lies. Like True, didn't you do True Lies?
He did do True Lies.
Okay, I love True Lies. Okay, so I love True Lies. Um, well, also because my boo Tom Arnold is in it, and like he was my last flame as. Uh, but no, I'm not a James Cameron fan. But like, yeah, that scene when she like comes out of the car, and it's like the icon, like she looks up from her purple hat, and it's like it is so like majestic. The thing is, I'm like, I watched the movie, I'm like, God, he does have some talent. I guess I have to give it to him.
Oh, he
I
has
guess
some
he
talent.
does. I
Wow.
guess he does
You've
have some talent.
Wow, one of the toughest film critics just had to admit that James Cameron has some talent. Okay,
It
the
is
most
incredible, but like my hatred starts from the beginning. As soon as she fucking opens her mouth, James Cameron, you had the ability to CGI. You CGI'd an entire ocean. You CGI'd a boat sinking. All of this. You couldn't CGI some fucking Crest white strips on Kate Winslet. She look as her first line. She looks like she brushed her teeth with butter. Her teeth
I
are.
did I didn't even notice this. You're telling me she has bad teeth?
How did you not notice that? What type of color saturation do you have on your TV, Ryan, that you did not notice?
I was swept away with the story. I was like meeting like
And my dislike towards this character started right then, and just she's one. I think she's truly just so evil.
Wow.
Everyone thinks Cal is the worst person in this movie. Absolutely not. I
Cal,
think
by the
Cal's
way, Cal is played by Billy Zane, and he's the rich one that she's engaged to. Also, Billy Zane, shout out to his hairpiece, doing some of the best hairpiece work I've ever seen in movies because
Why did
Billy
Jeremy
Zane,
Piven hire the
yeah,
ludologist from
Jeremy Piven's
Titanic?
like, holy shit. It's like that scene in Back to the Future when he's like, you know that sound you've been looking for? Well, listen to this. When Jeremy Piven saw Billy Zane's hairpiece, it was like, you know that hair you've been looking to? Well, watch this. Because Billy Zane's hairpiece, there's not a moment where I don't believe that's his real hair.
Listen to your friend Billy Zane. He's a cool dude. Like he's very like like I love Billy Zane. I'm a self-proclaimed. I am a Zaniac through and through. I can't believe she didn't go for Billy Zane like in this movie. I think he is the most romantic part of this movie. Truly, like
What?
I am. What scares me is like where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Where in the world is Billy Zane? Why have we not seen him?
No, he's out there. He just does like not
Where
big
with Shelley
films.
Miscavige, like with David Miscavige's
No,
wife?
no, no. He
Where
does.
is Billy Zane?
He does a lot of like other. It's just not films you know of. And by the way, you know such a limited amount of films. Billy Zane could be in like actually huge films, and you would just never know because you don't watch films.
If they would promote Billy Zane
Billy Zane.
in the previews, a Zaniac would pay attention. But
well, okay.
He is.
Listen, the angriest I got last night during the rewatch was I didn't even catch this the first 10 times I've seen this movie was at the very end.
Oh.
No, Bill Paxton. That's actually Bill Paxton's like the big explorer looking for the heart of the ocean, you know, the big necklace that this old fucking Biddy just throws out in the ocean instead of like, you know how many third world countries like just donate the money, you old bag. Like, I mean, listen, if Bill Paxton, if I was at Adventure and I saw that old lady in her nightgown throw that over, I would push her right through. And it's like, if you want to go be with, and by the way, that's the shot they should have had in the movie when she throws that heart of the ocean in like it should have hit like a frozen DiCaprio that he's like frozen of just like, and DiCaprio, like, you know, Jack Dawson would have been like, you fucking idiot. Like, I should have told you, like, never let go. I should have told you.
Idiot, Rose. Why would you do that, Rose? Why would you do that, Rose? You're such
the other
idiot.
line, Jack's big line should have been, use your fucking brain, Rose. Use your fucking, okay, so no, she tells the whole crew.
What a selfish old cunt. And I'm sorry, I don't use her. She's a
by the way, people are literally going to be so mad at this, but like really,
so
legitimately,
keep it out. But like,
no, legitimately,
a horrible
person.
Woman.
Well, okay, so and by the way, you can just tell she lived her life because at the very end of this movie, we see her sleeping and we see all the pictures of all the great experiences she lived. You know, and I'm just like,
fucking pictures. I love the confidence and like the obsession of herself. This woman, the disgusting, like she's disgusting.
Okay, so guys, how we're first introduced to her in the script. So like the beginning of the movie, they find they like they're doing like all this computer shit with like little robots down at the like bottom of the ocean floor with the Titanic.
Aquatic Wally.
Yeah.
And they're like moving him
and
around.
they find this safe, which they think there's gonna have this like awesome necklace in it, and instead they find a lot of like pornography, like a lot of pornography drawings, and they're like, hey, look at this, and then all of a sudden it's on the news, and
also,
this
like, the fact that this picture is like he didn't draw with fucking Sharpie. He drew with like an old like chalk crayon.
They made chalk crayons like really good back in the day, and that's why it held up. I guess.
I'm say Crayola. Well, they should get on because number 2 pencils. If they even did half of what Jack Dawson's art in.
I gotta tell you, by the way, the drawings just okay, not great. No, I mean not great, not great. And we find out later in the film when he's showing Rose all his work, this guy had an obsession for drawing pornography. Like he was legit, and the fact that he's so like tiny and good looking, and Leonardo DiCaprio at that time looks like a girl, like so everybody was in love with him. This guy had a hardcore pornography addiction. Like he was only drawing nudes. Like he was only drawing nude women. It's wild. But anyways, so
I
they
love
get this.
that thought. And when he just, sorry, I know that we'll get to his sketchings like later. I'm sorry. Go on.
Yeah. No, okay, so they find they don't find they don't find the diamond necklace, but they do find like these drawings, and it gets on the news. And then in the script, they say we're introduced to Rose Calvert. Rose Calvert is the old lady's name, Rose. And this is what makes me livid is Rose Calvert. So we don't know the whole story about Jack and Rose yet, but at the very end of the movie, when she gives her name at Ellis Island or, in New York, she says Rose Dawson. So she takes Jack Dawson's last name, right? And then when she tells the whole boat crew, the whole sob story about the Titanic, Bill Paxton and they're all like crying and all this shit. And she's like, I never mentioned Jack. She's like, we didn't find anything about Jack Dawson because I never mentioned him. I've never said a word about him until right now. I'm like, you bitch. Like the fact that this man saved your life, you should have been shouting him out every fucking day never mentioned him. Never mentioned this guy. He could have been a hero in all the Titanic stories. You could have kept his legend alive and said, I never mentioned him. I just went on living the best life I could. Like you could have made him a hero. And in fact, you selfish person kept it to yourself. Like you didn't even keep his name. You then went and married somebody, had a kid with,
and tell his family, like when he was
no, exactly.
I wanted to be like, really? Well, you don't sound like.
Yeah, it's by the way, part of her like
part of her grand accent.
Yes, part of her whole explorer life should have been going to track down Jack's family and like maybe making like maybe selling that necklace and making a beautiful statue of Jack.
Yes, or like you could have. She could have done so many things. Like her grandchildren, like. Could have okay, cool with.
She didn't tell her child. She didn't tell her daughter. She didn't tell her own daughter.
And made a charity that teaches young women how to fucking spit and do loogies. Like she could have done so much with this necklace, and just like the fact that when he's like, it's more, it's more expensive than the Hope Diamond. It's like. She'd be like, it was like worth almost $1 billion back then. Like, can you imagine when people?
By the way, it would have been great if they like they should do like George Lucas like redoes Star Wars movies. They should have her throw that necklace into the ocean, and then they should have Kim Kardashian jump in after it. Because Kim Kardashian loves to buy other people's artifacts. But
I thought you were gonna say because like so Courtney could be like when she's like, I lost my heart at the ocean. Her being like, Kim, people are dying.
Yeah. By the way, that's a good meme, actually, if we put Courtney in to like people just like Courtney and Kim, like amongst the dead. No, like, listen, we're talking about a serious thing. The Titanic actually happened. It's a tragedy, but also what's a tragedy is that we thought this was the most romantic film in the world, when in actuality, these folks knew each other less than 3 days. And the reality of this situation,
it's insane.
The reality of this situation is Jack potentially would have gotten bored. He would have been like, I want to draw more nudes of other women. It would have been like the pornography would have kept coming back up in this relationship. So 3 days. But the thing is, it's like we romanticized it, but the character itself, she didn't romanticize it.
So instead of like, he's like, you think he's like, instead of like hit it and quit it, he's like, draw it and leave it. Like once I do my drawing, he's like, he's like,
I got what I want. It's like, I think that's the part that just really sticks out. And I think when you're younger, you don't really think about those things. And you think those things of like, oh, you can fall in love in one day and it's forever. And then I think when you get older, you get so desensitized and jaded that you're like, wait a second, this wouldn't have lasted potentially. This wouldn't have lasted.
Would have lasted is how like that little girl at the beginning, they keep like kind of like cutting to this girl randomly named Cara. She's like one of the like poor like Irish girls, like she's down during the dance scene when he's like, you're still my best girl, Cara. And I'm like, yeah, because if this was real life, in 9 years Jack Dawson Leo would have been dating fucking Cara. He'd be like, Rose, you old bitch. Like, no, Cara, you are my best girl. Get up.
Well, I don't think back in the day they had they didn't have Victoria's Secret catalogs yet, so Jack wouldn't have been tempted by a lot of Victoria's Secret models.
That picture he has of like that woman breastfeeding, I doubt that woman like posed for that breastfeeding picture. He was just like some like guy in the corner of like,
there was a we're jumping ahead obviously to like his drawings when he's showing Rose the drawings, and one of them is like a lady breastfeeding her baby, and like it. I mean, those drawings seem like they might have taken. Like, also, I don't draw, so like, how fast could you really draw that? How long was she breastfeeding this baby for that he was actually being able to like do a mediocre like? By the way, none of these things. None of these things are great. Like, it was like fine. It's fine.
I would
It's
have died
fine.
like if she was like, "What is this?" When she's like, "What is this? What are you holding?" She turns it around and she opens it. I would have died. I wish that she had opened it and that they had all been like caricatures where they were just like riding surfboards and like just like a bunch of caricatures and like surfer S's, you know,
I will
like those.
say one of the things when you first meet Jack, you know, the power of Leonardo DiCaprio, like this really, like he was already an amazing actor, but this like shot him into the stratosphere. And he is in this film one of the most beautiful boy men that you've ever seen. Like, Kate Winslet must have been so, like, other women will compare themselves to other women. Kate Winslet must have been like, holy shit. Like he is way more beautiful than like
he's more beautiful than me. He's thinner than
yes,
me. Like
he is like there are shots in this where you're like, that is arguably just a beautiful, like, it's not a boy and it's not a girl. It's
beautiful
like
woman on board. He is the most beautiful man, woman. Like, he is an like he is like the Harry Styles of like this boat. Like, it's like he's a beautiful woman. He's a beautiful man. Like,
yes,
he transcends. He's the best looking person, hands down. Like, the best looking things
yeah.
in this movie are the boat and Leo. Like,
yeah. Oh no,
absolutely.
it's like, it's shocking that like not everybody on the boat would just stop and stare at him. Billy's, yeah, I mean, Billy Zane's obviously jealous of him. Like, normally a poor kid
better looking than her, hands down. She was so fucking lucky.
I think Kate Winslet's beautiful, but just in a different way.
She's no Zane.
She's no Zane. Well, we shouldn't be comparing men and women. Anyways, so this lady was like, at the very beginning, she's like,
I'm sure that they want equality and that we should judge them in their ugliness, like, equally, Ryan.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyways, Bill Paxton plays the explorer Lovett, who's out there on this ship. So this thing gets on the news about the necklace and the drawings and stuff. And this old bat's like, I need to get out there. I need to go back to the Titanic, which it still doesn't make sense why she can't just do any of this from a fucking phone. Like, I don't know why she had to be flown out on a helicopter.
Your jitterbug, old lady.
Oh, like, and show you this goes to show you how like selfish Rose is still. Like, we see her on the helicopter that she has her dog with her. I'm like, you couldn't leave a dog with a friend? Like, you're going to a fucking ocean in the middle. You're bringing your dog. Like, do any of the other crew that's working on this massive ship, are they allowed to bring their animals? And you're like,
what's worse? What's worse than the dog? Between bringing her fucking like clueless granddaughter who like, wouldn't you think like that you would hide your grandmother from like anything Titanic related? Like Rose is over there doing her like Demi Moore impression of like doing her fucking shitty pottery, doing her shitty artwork. And she hears like in the kitchen of like them talking about like the Titanic on the news. And she's like, what? Turn that up, dear. And the, like, granddaughter's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, baby girl, you're right next to the TV. How does your old fucking 101-year-old grandmother hear better than you? But if it was like my dad, like, if
Annabelle, she probably didn't tell her. She probably didn't tell anybody in her family she was on the Titanic.
She was on the Titanic?
No, because she kept Jack a secret. She kept like this. No, she did not. She probably didn't even. She's like, turn that up. Oh, I was on the Titanic.
She was like, what if your grandmother had never mentioned about being on the Titanic and you guys were watching the news and your grandmother was like, saw this like hot artwork and she was like, ooh, that's me. And you'd be like, all right, Nana, time for bed. And she's like, no, that's me. And we're like, right. Okay, well, we can't talk to President Johnson tonight. Let's put you to bed. Like, I'd be like, absolutely not. But what's worse than the dog and her emotional support granddaughter, she brings her fish. She brings her fishbowl of fish. It doesn't even have a lid on it. It's not even like to bring your own fucking. I can't.
If I was that fish, I would have been scared. I would have been scared she was going to dump me right along with that necklace. Like, if I was that little fish, I would be like, oh, she's not bringing me back. Like what the fuck is like, and that just shows you how selfish this Rose person is. Even in her 90s or however old she is in this movie, It is ridiculous the amount of selfishness. And I just don't know. And I know it's for the movie, but you could have done all of this over a phone call of like, I'll tell you the story of the Titanic over the phone, because we see that the phones existed. So the fact that they had to bring her out there, and then she's like, they get her on the ship and they have all of her old artifacts, like her mirror and her like little thing. And she's like picking up, she's like, I remember this. And I thought she so felt selfish. I thought she was going to be like, and they're all going back with me. These are all mine. These are all,
like
that's
doing the supermarket sweepstakes and just fucking taking her and like one thing I was just like, I know that this is very off topic, but when you see the fish, Brian, do you believe in reincarnation?
No.
No? Okay. Okay, well, I do.
I guess you do. Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. Then my question for you won't matter. Okay.
Wait, what's the question?
No, it was about the fish. It was going to be about the fish. Okay, so I believe in reincarnation, and like, when you're like, so beta fish really beta fish like bum you out, right? Like when you see them, like doesn't
I don't
like
really.
I
don't.
You've never
I've
been
never
at
really had a
PetSmart
thought.
and
I've
seen
never
like a thing of like beta fish, like them in their little like containers.
No.
Oh my god! Like how? Okay. Well, anyway, like if you're ever checking out at a pet store, there's always beta fish there, and it's like heartbreaking because they're in these like little like what you'd get in like a Chinese soup to go containers, and like it's fucking horrible because they don't even have like they can't even be around other fish because they're beta fish. Even though that doesn't make sense because like aren't betas supposed to be like submissive? Like if you're a beta male, like said they're not alpha anyway. It's like I don't think the name makes sense. But it's like they have to be by themselves and they're just stuck in this little thing and they don't even swim. They're just there. And so like what helps me sleep at night when I look at these when I look at these beta fish, I just like to think that they like were terrible people in a former life. And that's why now they're beta fish, like that they were like rapists or like animal abusers or something. And it like, that's the only way I can look at beta fish and like be. So anyway, baddies.
Are you like, by the way, are you still allowed to go into?
Let us know in the comments.
Are you still allowed to go into your local PetSmart? Uh-oh, Annabelle's here at PetSmart. Lock the doors. Uh-oh, she's gonna start staring at the fish again. Like, oh my god, I didn't know. Wow, I did not think you were gonna go there. Wow.
Well, that's why I was like, do you believe in reincarnation? When you said no, I was like, okay, I was going to say that you're like Ramirez, the Night Stalker. All right, you are too. Like I was not. Okay. Well, I always wonder
what the piece of the conversation is going to be that takes it completely away from the movie with you. Like I'm like, what's going to be the thing? And for this, it's like the goldfish that I didn't even really kind of like, to be honest with you. I don't even remember bringing the goldfish on the. It sounds like something she would do, but I got to be honest, don't really remember it. Like I do remember her bringing her dog.
Because the tism is strong with me, and I'm like, goldfish. That's what I remember. Like I remember only very specific weird things that nobody else cares about. But like, this woman is a fucking bitch. She's crazy. If you've had a traumatic experience, can you imagine like the biggest trauma in your life? And if I was on the Titanic and it sank, I would never even be in a shower again. I would sponge bathe the rest of my life. I would never be in the largest thing of water I'd be around is like a fucking glass of water or like my fish aquarium that's full of old rapists. But
I'm harping on. Wait, I'm harping on this. So I just want to go back to the fact that this lady did marry some other guy and had a kid with him. And at the very end, when we see all of her collection of like her selfish photos with just her doing amazing things, we don't see a photo of her with her family or like her with her husband. Like, so was this guy just like a sperm donor? Like this poor guy never like knew about the actual love of her life, Jack Dawson. Like the daughter's just fine. Like the daughter is going to go through severe trauma after the Titanic. Like after like, oh, I just found out my mom didn't really truly love my dad. It was like a different love than Jack Dawson. She loved some pornographer, some little boy pornographer.
She loved like the Terry Richardson of like old sketch work.
By the way, do you ever think she did that thing with her actual husband that she was married to? It was like, hey, draw me nude. And he was like, I have no drawing ability.
He probably was like, all right, here's like a little stick figure. And she's like, oh, she's like, disgusting. Do you imagine? She's like, I knew Picasso. I saw the gift in Picasso before anybody did. And she's like, and trust me, the guy who did one of my caricatures before was even better than Picasso. So you're disgusting. I'm glad I saw this now after I fucked you, because I would have never been able to if I'd seen your drawings before. Like,
so the actor Gloria Stewart plays Old Rose, and I will say this is the other thing too. Even though this is like it was like a technological marvel at the time. Like it was like great use of CGI at the time. This is 1998, so it really was groundbreaking. But I was expecting them to do one shot where they made fucking Gloria Stewart, like made me understand how Gloria Stewart ever looked like Kate Winslet when she was younger. Because I was like, those aren't even in the same boat. Like, I don't care how old you are, that's not the same person. Like, I hate movies that don't even attempt to make them look like they used to. Like, I'm like, wait, like at least like maybe dye her hair a little like white red. I don't know, but like
it wasn't the same cadence, or like
no, it was the same. Like she could have had a draw, like you there, gal. Like make it something we're just supposed to believe. And by the way, we're looking at this movie, decades later, so we can poke fun at it. But at the time, I didn't have these thoughts. I was like, of course. And Gloria Stewart was nominated for an Oscar for this film. And I got to tell you,
really?
Yes, I'm shocked. And I think they just did it like, yes.
Nothing for
an Oscar.
The Academy is rigged. It's rigged.
Yeah, like these are the awards. These are the awards. It was.
I guess I never even thought about that. For example, there's no even you couldn't even do any special effects of like a certain nose, or like their color isn't even exactly the same, and they do so many zoom ins on the eyes, and it's not even like it's just weird.
Okay, so this is the Academy Awards. Yeah, Best Picture. It won for Best Picture. It won for Best Director. It was nominated for Best Actress for Kate Winslet, nominated for Best Supporting Actress for Gloria Stewart, lost both of those. It won for Best Art Direction, Best Cinematography, Best Costume Design, Best Film Editing, nominated for Best Makeup, but didn't win. Best Score, it won. Best Original Song, My Heart Will Go On, won. Best Sound, won. Best Sound Effects Editing, won. And Best Visual Effects. So it pretty much swept except for the acting. What's that?
What about Best Wigologist? Because the Wigologist was
Billy Zane's wig won for Best Wig in a movie. Yeah, no, I mean it won. Leonardo DiCaprio did not get nominated, and I got to tell you, I thought his performance, like that's why it's so silly to like judge performances, but like a lot of the stuff they ask these actors to do, like just think how hard it is to like that last scene when it's like the dreams, like it's the very last shot of the movie when it's like Rose and Jack are kissing and all the Titanic people are clapping for them. They're like, yeah, like that's got to be like, just think of an actor, how embarrassing that scene's got to be, because they have to do it over and over again. And then you see all the characters from the movie that are now dead and they're all clapping, like, and they're just like doing this romantic kiss. And then that's like, obviously this dream sequence, but it's like, that's cheesy for everybody involved. Like, think about actually shooting that scene of like, okay, so now I got to kiss you. And then everybody claps. Like, imagine everybody clapping for one of your kisses. Like, that would be so horribly embarrassing. In the reality of that scene would, if you would be like, oh my God, stop watching us. But like that. But by the way, now that I'm thinking about it, that's obviously Rose's fantasy, because she's so into herself that she thinks everybody would be clapping.
Narcissist.
She thinks everybody would be clapping.
That they're still the doormen in her dream, and she's like, these doormen can't even be like a regular person. They still have to be like the doormen in my dream. Like, no, still know your place, even in my version of heaven. You can't even be seen as an actual individual.
Yeah, it's like when you're a kid and you just make up nonsense like you're like, oh, and then everybody loves me and they all put me on their shoulders and clap for me. Like, that's like Rose is still in that spot of she's never grown up. And that's why I'm more interested in, I wish they'd done a sequel talking about Rose's daughter and how Rose was like a really selfish mom. She probably left her family multiple times to go do adventures. And like that daughter's
was like Monica's mom, where she's like, I'm leaving you to go live my dream.
Salt Lake City.
Like,
yeah.
Doesn't like the fat guy who kind of looks like, I know, like Michael Moore, like with a beard. Like when he was like, she was an actress. Do you understand? An actress. She could be lying about this. Like, Rose never talked about her like acting dreams. So I'm like, who even knows this old broad? I'm like, at the end of the 3-hour story, Bill Paxton be like, right. So where was the necklace? So
Yeah,
back
yeah,
to the
like,
necklace.
yeah. Because that's the whole conceit of the movie, is that Rose tells these people a 3-hour sob story when he literally just like wants the necklace. But then what's so funny about this is the cheesiest line of the movie was Bill Paxton at the end. He's like, I finally get it. I never let Titanic in. I never let it, like, because it means like I never actually thought about
Because he
the
was
real
like, I've
meaning of these
looked for
people
it for
dying.
the
He's
last
like,
4 years. I've dedicated my life to
I never
playing.
let I never let it in. I never let Titanic in. I never let it in. And like he has to deliver it with a straight face. And Bill Paxton, rest in peace, was like such an amazing actor. But sometimes
He
with Bill
died?
Paxton, yeah, he died like 7 years ago. Yeah, like 5 or 6 years. Yeah.
Mitch McConnell still here. Bill Paxton gone. Makes life is fair. Rigged.
Well, I
Anyway.
mean, Bill Paxton wasn't in politics, but I think I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, like literal monsters like roam the earth. And Bill Paxton, oh, that's sad.
Yeah, no, well, and this is a little actually weird fact is I booked like 2 scenes in a Bill Paxton movie that was going to shoot in Atlanta, and he
What?
died. There it was it was
After he
actually
learned
like,
he'd be acting with you.
shut up. No. It was a movie about
And
Elvis
he's like,
actually.
who is this? Ryan Bailey. Is it? Oh,
No, stop. I was like, I really remember thinking that. Thought I was like, oh, so is the movie still happening? Like he was the lead of the movie, but he was like, actually, also just Bill Paxton fact, he directed a film called Frailty that actually is a fucking amazing film. Like the guy actually, I think would have been even like better and better of a director. Anyways, off that. But Bill Paxton's like, I never let Titanic in. And we're also supposed to believe that he's like kind of has a flirtation going with Rose's daughter. So they're like the modern day Jack and Rose, potentially a treasure hunter. And I don't know. Anyways, so we get on this, like we start like going into flashbacks. Is like, I'll tell you the story of the Titanic.
She's such a fucking. I'm sorry, I'll let you go. But when he was like, "Will you tell us?" And she like gets up and like fucking like goes to like the monitors, like the Batman monitors. There was like 8 different TVs going on of like this, and she like listened. She's like, and like clasped her hands in front of her. And he was like, "That's okay, Rose." And she's like, "It's been 84 years." And he's like, "That's okay. Just tell us anything you remember." And she's like, "Do you want to hear this story or not?" And he's like, "I want to be like, all he did was
It's been 84 years, and I can still smell the fresh paint. The china had never been used. The sheets had never been slept in. But, you know, like, I love that she remembers every fucking detail, but still can't carry on the good man Jack Dawson's name. She's like, I know, I remember everything, but I've never talked about it at all. And I was like,
I'm like, I can barely remember when people at work are like, "How was your weekend? What do you do?" I can't even, like, I can't literally even remember like 2 days ago. And this like old fucking bitch is remembering like the smell of paint. Like, I don't know if it was only if it was the smell of lead paint. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? She's awful. And also, like, what old person have you ever had to tell, been like, "Hey, tell us this story. Come on, just tell us anything." You never have to ask an old person to tell you about stories from their past. They tell you whether you want to hear it or not. And they're like, "Ma'am, this is a Wendy's." Like, it's just like, please, like,
it would be great. It would be great if she starts telling the story and she obviously like is like doesn't really remember. Like Titanic was called the ship of peanut butter and jellies, and it was very big. I remember a very big boat. Yes, it was very big, and it had to have had 50 or at least 60 people on it. Yes, 50 or 60 people. Yes. I remember it all. The best onion rings that you possibly could ever eat. The Titanic had all of them. I will say though, in terms of like cruising now, like I went on a celebrity cruise over the summer, and it's very
were
different.
you the
There's like,
celebrity?
There's there's no like thing where you can like get to the bow of the boat and be like, I'm king of the world. Like there's none of that bullshit. Like you can't even get like it's very different. Like I wish
I
Titanic
mean, you
was
can
like
still kill
updated.
your wife on it
Yeah,
very
oh yeah, sure,
easily.
yeah. But like
It
Titanic
is
should be
insane that
updated.
cruises still exist. Like
Well,
when
but
I
they
went on a
exist in such a cheesy way. There's like it's not classy at all. It's like Jack and Rose would have to deal with like a 30-foot like slide that like kids would be shitting on. Of like,
and people doing
oh,
like the cha-cha slide.
there's little Timmy shitting in the pool that everybody's swimming in. Like it's
Like
completely. And there should be a scene where Rose is just like, oh God, chicken cutlets again at the buffet because it's like like oh my God, my stomach. Like that's the
like
other
the
thing too.
self-serve ice cream machine is down. What is this, McDonald's?
Yeah,
Somebody fix this.
the cruise. She's like, I can't hook up with Leo in the car because my stomach is so jacked from all this cruise food. I haven't like taken a proper dump in like 3 days now. Like I have to
Right.
get out of a corset. Oh, that's offensive to you? You literally just said goldfish were serial killers. Like, what are you talking about?
But that's true. Stop. You
That's
don't need to
true.
talk about you know how I feel about bathrooms. Oh my god, somebody at work told, oh my god, sorry. Anyway, this like random like Russian guy came in and he was like asking me where something was, and I was like I was going towards like the area like where our bathroom is, like to get a broom. And like he asked me, I was like, "Oh, it's over there." And he's like, "Okay, thank you. You can go make toilet now." And I'm like, "No, I wasn't going to go make toilet. I was getting a broom. I don't make toilet.
That could be your
That's
Jack Dawson.
disgusting."
That could be your romance story. That could be, and you could be like, it'd be like, never let go. And like, no, I've got to. I'm going to the bathroom. Never
Right?
hold in.
Don't do
Never
that.
let
Don't
go.
do
Yeah.
that. Stop it.
Oh my
Disgusting.
God.
That's
Um,
disgusting.
So, anyways,
Disgusting. Stop it.
this lady goes into a very selfish story about the Titanic, which and none of it really truly makes sense of like what he's looking for this the necklace, the heart of the fucking ocean sea, whatever it is. And so, anyways, we go back and we see the beautiful Titanic, the White Star Line, all the officials, everybody getting on the boat, and we meet Cal Hockley. And this is Billy Zane. And he's like, you can be blasé about some things, Rose, but not about Titanic. It's over 100 feet longer than Mauritania and far more
Well, then she
luxurious.
gets out
It
the
has,
first thing she says out of the fucking boat, out of the fucking car. She's like, I don't know why everyone's making such a big deal. It doesn't look special. Like it doesn't look a she's already such a fucking Debbie Downer. She's already negging the ship. She's like, I don't think it's that impressive. Like
yeah,
she's such a
I've
little
seen
asshole.
bigger. Yeah, I've
Like
seen
she's
bigger.
such a
Like,
fucking asshole. Like it's just boo. From the minute she gets out, boo,
You know what?
boo,
And I
kill
usually,
her.
I usually would take the woman's side, but I will say, she like her and her mom got free tickets. Like Cal paid for her and her mom, obviously. Wouldn't isn't the polite thing to be like, oh, like I'm so excited to be here. Like, just play along at least. Like, and if you're that like,
Awful.
don't go. Like, I'd be like, I'll take my buddy.
Ungrateful. She's the most ungrateful person in the world. She's disgusting. She should have drowned.
And there's and there. I'm
She should
telling
have.
you, I I'm telling you, by the way,
Disgusting.
if Leonardo DiCaprio's character had survived, I bet he would have built like orphanages. I bet he would have saved
Yes,
millions of people throughout his life. I bet that guy would have gone
Stephanie
on. Jack
Frankel would
Dawson.
look like she's done
Oh,
absolutely nothing
and
for
by
charity.
the way,
Jack
and
Dawson.
Jack Dawson, if he was alive, at the end you would have seen pictures. The pictures on his wall. It would have been none of him. It would have been all the people he helped, and then it would be just drawings of naked. It would just be drawings of naked women and all of the people that he helped throughout the years, because it wasn't about him. He liked to put the spotlight on other people, and Rose wanted the spotlight. That's
Rose
all
would
she was obsessed with.
I mean, she did. Obviously,
Totally.
selfies didn't exist back then, but she brings the like epitome, I guess, of somebody taking all of her pictures. They're not even her with her grandchildren. It's literally like her, like
No,
I'm next to a plane. Here's
here's me and
me
a
riding a
horse.
horse. Here's me doing this. Like here's me in case I forget what I look like. I can remember paint smell from 84 years ago, but in case
Yeah,
I forget all the things I've done.
yeah.
Here's
I mean,
me. Ugh,
so
next to your
any,
rapist fish, could this armoire could it get any worse?
Anyways,
I'm
we
sorry.
we when they're getting on the boat, we also like they set up the difference between like steerage class and first class. Like those are the bums on the bottom. Those are the dirty people that are on the boat. Like
Like the Heather Dubrow and then the Gina Casita. Like if we were gonna do it.
yeah. So for the Housewives fans out there, what do we? Heather Dubrow would be in the first class, and Gina would be in the steerage in the bottom where the water got in first. That's where she'd be like, "Oh, what? The water's coming in. It's so cold. Oh, the water. Oh, I'm selling real estate now. Hopefully, I can get up to the taller decks. Yeah. Anyways, we then meet as people are getting on. We meet Jack Dawson and Fabrizio De Rossi, and they're playing a big poker game where they win their tickets for the Titanic. And yes, that I get it. Like, oh my God, they won a ticket to their doom. They won a ticket to their deaths. That's the deeper. I get what happened. I get the deeper meaning here, but they win, so they think they are truly king of the world. Now I love his friend Fabrizio. I am Fabrizio. Oh, da da. Oh, Buga de Beppo. Like
You mean the walking breadstick of like, the Titanic, Mall Garden,
yeah. Yeah. Oh, Cacio de Pepe. Cacio de Pepe. Like, I will tell you, this actor that played Fabrizio, I knew his sister in real Elle, her name's Elle, and I remember going, "Oh my God, you!" And like, it is funny. Like, what was the actor's name? I think Adam something. But yeah,
oh my God, do you think you could talk to Elle? Do you think you could get him? Well, honestly, whatever Uber he's driving right now and listening probably to your podcast.
No, he was like, I mean, by the way, anybody.
He'd be Titanic to be on your podcast.
Any of the actors that were like kind of supporting actors, they still make bank off this movie every year because it is, until recently, the #1 box office grossing worldwide movie in the world. Like, so they still like this, and this was when residuals actually meant something, like before streaming and all that shit. And by the way, you can stream Titanic on Paramount Plus. It is.
That's what Ryan's like little title card says. Ryan
Titanic. Because, by the way, DiCaprio's character Jack would be like, "Can I draw you on the Titanic?" Because he loved drawing boobs. Like, he loved drawing boobs. He's like, "Yeah, she had big old pepperoni nipples. Yeah, like that's I'm doing Jack's character. That's what Jack would say. But he would say it. But by the way, Jack is the perfect example. He would get away with saying like pepperoni nipples, and people would be like, "Oh my God, that's so cute. That's amazing," because he looks so pretty. I say pepperoni nipples, and you're like, "Oh, gross." But if Jack, you'd be like, "Oh my God." Ew, yeah. I will tell you too. Wait, like I know,
use them as coal.
I was also thinking, like, to jump to the end when they're having to decide, like, women and children on the boats first. Like, you would get on the boat, obviously. Like, would it even be a thought in your head of giving your spot up?
Are you fucking kidding me? I would give my spot up like in the Starbucks line. No,
oh, really?
Are you kidding me? I would be.
No, I
would be pushing children out of the way.
Well, that's a great point, because I do want to tell you that Annabelle now primarily rides horses. There's a lot of rows in Annabelle. Like, I can there's like, by the way, anytime you see a picture of Annabelle, it's with her horses. It's with her, like, there's
riding
a lot
both with legs on both sides.
or spitting loogies by herself. And no, but I was trying to think, like, because I was trying to think, like, I think I would begrudgingly accept that I'm gonna die, but I think I'd be like, I guess I'll just be here. Like, I can just imagine waving to the boats, like, "Bye, guys. Like, have fun." Like,
absolutely. The thing is, you know how like those musicians were playing till the end? I could absolutely see you being like, "Hold on, do we have a microphone? Anyway, I'll get up and entertain the guests while this is going on."
Yeah, do like crowd work. Like, "Hey, where are you from, sir? Where are you from? Are you getting off on a boat today? Okay. Well, it's super fun here. It's a little cold out here, a little nipply. That's one for Jack out there. Jack, where are you? I met this fun kid in
Exactly.
steerage.
You're like, exactly. Excuse me, is this thing on? Seems
No,
like the audience is kind of icy. Do you guys get
I
it?
I would be asking to talk to a
Hot up
manager. Like
here.
it's
I'm thinking.
what's like when it's like when there's bad turbulence on a plane. Like I remember there was like really bad turbulence on a plane once, and I would try to make eye contact with the 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 helpers. What am I blanking on the help
The
the
flight attendant?
yeah, well, you call them flight assistants. You don't even the flight attendants.
Flight
Sorry, the flight
I'm
attendants.
sorry, the only thing that would make me want to become I've honestly thought about becoming a flight attendant for like a few seconds,
Oh,
or
you
like
that
randomly.
would
I
not
know
work.
that's how Kris Jenner met fucking Robert Kardashian. The thing is,
It
but
was a
that's how I
different
get into
time. It
doing
was a
stupid
different time,
things.
Annabelle. It
I
was a different
know.
time.
I can never. Yeah, I don't want to teach
No,
people how to go down a slide and like put on oxygen masks. You're right. It's a different time. It was of a
but like
different time. I'm sorry.
when there's okay, sorry.
You like to make eye
No,
contact with the
I
flight
will
attendant.
because if there's like really bad turbulence, I remember this one because I kept looking like, what's the deal? Like they can't help the turbulence, like they can't. But I would be like, oh, come on, like because I was like scared, so I was like trying to be like, what's the deal? And that's what I'd be like on the Titanic. I would be trying to make contact with like the workers, being like,
No,
huh,
I feel like you'd be
what?
like, "What's the deal with icebergs?" Like that's how
What's
you would be
the
saying with.
well, it's just water. How would the iceberg do anything? Like you'd have to explain it to me. I'd be like, no, 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 no. It'll melt. There's no way it could hurt
And
this
you're like,
ship.
"No, no, no. There's going to be a thing called global warming, and we won't have to worry about these icebergs at all, you
Well,
guys."
that's the other sad thing about this. If this happened 100 years in the future, Titanic would still be here because the icebergs have pretty much all melted. There would not
I
be
was going
this
to say,
issue.
there's no way a ship could sink, and well, it will sink in fucking sand like that horse in like the never ending story. Like it will just be this like sand deserted. Anyway, I hate to watch like dystopian like future things. I'm telling you, like as soon as we start running out of water, I'm out. Like I one of the things of watching this movie, when you see like Rose looking at her naked picture and you think about like, oh, well, at least I mean, I have to still think Ryan's already there of like, oh day, like, oh my God, one day I'm gonna be old. Of like one day I'm not gonna be this picture.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh no, absolutely not. In this case, I would be like, I'm just gonna freeze to death. At least I'll freeze like in my prime. You know, like I if but no, with you
Wait,
might want
do
to
you
take
think you
down a
were?
note of like what time this is, but like of what time it. But like the thing is, you couldn't even do Titanic now. Can you imagine them being like women and children first? And they're like,
Oh,
excuse me, do you mean people? Because don't say women.
oh, oh, wow, you're going there with this.
But like,
Oh, wow, you're
but
going there. That's what came.
you
You're
might want.
like, no, it would be like, this is
2020.
America. I'm an American. I'm an American. And by the way, yeah, I'm sorry.
I was
There
gonna
is no
say, like
difference between,
America, this is America. I'm gonna float on my gun. So you know
yeah.
what? I don't care.
I mean, nowadays I'd even be looking at the kids of like, that kid ain't doing shit with his life. I can tell. I'm going to take that kid spot. Because Billy Zane, your favorite character, he at the very end, he's trying to get on one of these boats and he's a man. He's not supposed to go. And he grabs some little girl and he's like, little kid here. I'm all that she
He goes,
has.
I'm
And
all she has in the world.
And by the way, when you see him on the boat at the end, you see that kid on like hugging another lady. Like he totally abandoned the kid that he acted like he
And
was
as
getting on
soon
the
as she gets in the boat, he's like, here, and he like hands her off like fucking hot potato. He like gives her to this other woman in the boat. He's like, here, take her.
yeah, Billy. No,
Anyway,
Billy Zane. Like we're Joe. He's a horrible character. He's a horrible guy. But Rose is horrible too.
Ryan, he is no worse. It's a lateral move between him and Rose. I would say he's better. He loved her till the very end. And this selfish fucking bitch, she's the worst. She's way worse than Cal. A billion times worse than Cal.
It's different. It's just different. Anyways, we meet we meet like the builder
Awful.
of the guy that like the designed the Titanic. We bit like the captain of the Titanic. We start to meet some of the other
You
characters.
mean Victor
We
Garber, who I
Victor
just think of
Garber,
as the officiant of
Ken Gardner,
Jennifer
and Ben
Garner's
Affleck.
and Ben Affleck's wedding on the beach. I don't
Yeah,
think it.
people don't realize the guy who designed the Titanic, Victor Garber, is the officiant of Ben Affleck's doomed marriage to Jennifer Gardner. He
I
actually
was
officiated that wedding.
one of my like best friends, like my best friend here is named Tim, and we worked his manager, and he's gay, and I was saying something about like Victor Garber, and he like was saying a customer looks like Victor Garber, and he's like, I don't know who that is, and I'm like, like the designer, like I was like, well, first I said like Professor Callahan who hits on like Ellen Legally Blonde. He's like, I don't get it, I don't know, and I was like, okay, then the maker of then the guy who designed like the Titanic, and he's like, I don't get it, and I was like explaining, I was like, how do you not know? I'm like, you're gay. I'm talking about Legally Blonde to Titanic. How do you not get it? He's like, I don't know who you're talking about. So I literally take out my phone and like fucking Google image. I'm like, this guy. And he goes, oh, why didn't you just say it was the dad from Alias? And I'm like, you're such
Yeah.
a fucking nerd. So anyway, yes, he's the dad, also the dad from Alias.
You know who else is in Alias is Bradley Cooper was in Alias too.
I used to have a friend whose boyfriend was on Alias at one time. And she said she met Bradley Cooper at a party and that she thought he was like the sweetest gay guy in the world. That's what she said when she was like, I had no idea he was straight because he was but this was before like, hey, I just wanted to get another look. What are all your memes? Like, hey, I just want to get another look at you.
Hey, just want to get another look at you. By the way, I feel like Jack Dawson is kind of if Jack Dawson, I don't know. I was like I think Jack Dawson, I think Bradley Cooper's character in A Star Is Born is a spiritual sequel to Jack. If Jack Dawson had lived, he potentially would have turned into Bradley Cooper's character in A Star Is Born.
Really?
Yeah, I think they're both good people. I mean, like Bradley Cooper obviously had a very big pill addiction and alcohol addiction in A Star Is Born, but a very good man still.
If you were stuck with Rose, I'd have a pill addiction. Honestly, yeah. It's like when Billy Zane is I'm also like with might want to take a note time this. I'm sorry, I would absolutely end up in Billy Zane. What, he flips a table one time? What, because
yeah, by the way, so well, it is funny. Like I will say, so being engaged to this guy, and we do find out that Rose's mom, like they lost all their fortune, so they have to marry. Like, she's like, you better not screw this up, Rose. But then
she's like, your dad left us with a bunch of debts hidden behind a good name. Like, this is our only card. And she was like, this is so unfair. And she's like, do you want to see me end up as a seamstress? How selfish are you? And I'm like, she's the most selfish fucking one on the boat. She's fucking hella selfish. She's honestly terrible. But it's like, Cal you have everything going for you. He is doing charity. He's doing charity being with you. And this is how you're acting. You're so fucking ungrateful.
Well, the other thing too is that, when she's talking about when he flips the table, Rose has been out all night partying with Jack in the where they're doing the Irish jigs, area. Like having a real good time, and she's like chugging Guinness and stuff. Like, listen, I get you're in love with Jack, but you are here with somebody else, and like it's your fiance. Like, I hate to be a stickler.
Engaged 19 times? I'm gonna flip the table now.
But I know, I really think it's like, it is kind of like hard to defend Rose when it's like, you shouldn't probably be doing that. And, you shouldn't have probably be engaged with him in the first place. Like Rose I don't know. It's hard. Like what does everybody else think about Rose? Like, I mean, I think she was a commonly loved character. And I think maybe that's just wrong.
I just think she's evil and selfish and just I don't know. I think she makes Cersei Lannister, she looks like Elle Woods. Like she looks like Drew Barrymore and like.
Wait, did you just drop a Game of Thrones reference?
Isn't she like the one who fucks her brother? But I get it. Her brother's hot.
You're so weird. Like you don't watch anything, and then you'll be like, "Oh, this mythological like HBO show." I'm going to bring a reference to.
I watched the dragon parts of Game of Thrones, and some of Cersei's fangs got stuck in there. But so I know that she's a bad person between the dragon scenes.
Hey, can we pause? Wait, can we pause?
Them getting onto the boat.
Can we pause for a second? I got to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be right back. So we're on the boat, you guys. It's a marvel. Everybody's super psyched to be there. well, like I said, we meet all these kind of other characters, like the unsinkable Molly Brown, played by Kathy Bates, who we talked about in the very beginning.
The
We meet,
best.
I mean, yeah, she's the best. I mean, and the thing is, this film like took like a year to film. Like this took forever. And I will say, I remember this is how much of an idiot. Like I remember being a film snob even back then. And I remember when this movie was coming out, I was like, this movie is going to literally tank because everybody knows how the movie ends. Like there's no like you like we know that the Titanic like sinks. So why would anybody and when I found out it was
You're
like
just
3
sitting
hours.
there being like, it sinks. Like it
Well,
sinks.
I was like, who's
Boom.
going to go see a 3 hour and 15-minute movie in the theaters? I said that limits like the film showings you can do a day. I was like, I'm sorry. I don't think anybody's going to give a shit about this film. It's going to be, and at the time, a lot of people were saying that because it had gone so over budget, all of these things. And then it came out and it was one of those things that like it did better and better each week when people caught on. And like this like dominated the box office for like 3 months, which is like unheard of. Like
Did you
it
ever go
never
see?
left the theaters.
I'm so sorry. Did you ever go see like the re-release in like 3D? Because didn't they
I
do a
did.
3D like release on like the
I
25th
went to the
anniversary or something?
yeah, but I went to the 20th anniversary. They did a 20th anniversary. I went to that. I didn't see the 3D one because that would have broken my heart to see Jack dying in 3D. Like at the end when she pushes him off, when she's like Jack, Jack, and he's like frozen, and she just like pushes him like, and he just like never let go. By
And
the
she's
way,
like,
also,
psych.
that's another thing. That's another thing too. Wouldn't you like? Couldn't you be like, no, I want to bring this body back with me. I want to give it a proper burial. She's like, get the fuck off the like,
Ew, get off of me.
get your pornography fingers off this whatever it is. And she has enough strength to whistle at the end of like over here, over here. And Jack, I know we're like keep talking about that end scene, but he's like, I want you to promise me that you'll always go on, never give up, never give up. And like she's not like she should have been like, you never give up, Jack, you. But it's all about her. Like
It's
she'd be
all
like, hey,
about
let's
her,
talk.
and she's the one who's on the thing. She's not even in the water, and she's like, Jack, I'm
It's
so
so cold.
cold. It's so cold. I'm like,
She's
which
like,
every girl says, except for me,
it's
because
so
I'm like always like I always say I'm like I'm in like early menopause, or how Nancy says I'm having a private summer when she's having like a hot flash. Like I'm always fucking hot and
wait.
sweaty.
What did she say? I'm having a private summer.
I'm having a private summer.
Oh my god! Whoa, that's
so,
wild.
so like
That's such a good line
I'm
of
always
dialogue.
I'm always sweating, like even when it's like it's been like fucking like 20 degrees here, and I'm like still in like fucking like mesh like this. I'm still in like summer shirts because I'm always hot. That is like one of the things that me and Ryan have in common is like I'm always sweating. Like I sweat
Yeah,
indoors.
yeah.
If it is over 68 degrees, I'm damp. Um so like I I'm
You're
always having
moist.
that. So like
You're moist.
Ryan, no. Unless I'm looking at Billy Zane, then no, I'm not moist. But like most girls are always like, "Oh, I'm so cold. I'm so cold." That's the only fight I get into at work where I'm just like, I'm like pick out whatever fucking sweater, jacket. I'm like, I'll pay for it. Pick whatever type of with winter wardrobe you'd like. Because I can't wear them because I'm very jealous because I'm always fucking burning up. I'm like, so I cannot take anything more off legally. You can put more on. I was like,
Yeah.
I'll pick whatever fucking coats you want. Just right. But every girl's always like, oh, I'm so cold. Ooh, it's cold.
That
Oh.
was like, yeah. So like he's in the water. I just think that's the
When
weirdest.
he was like, you're gonna have lots of babies. I'm like, I don't know. Is she Catholic? Because like I don't know. He's like, you're gonna have so many babies.
And
I'm like,
and you're good. I would have been like, don't forget about me. Keep my name alive, Rose. Well, I'm not doing that. I'm not fucking doing that. I'll tell you that much.
Don't wait till you're 101 years old and you have a captive audience that you're stringing along. Talk about me before that. Try to meet my parents. Tell them I love them. And she's like, "Hey, bye."
I mean, but talk. I mean, also just talk like when she gets like saved at the end, she is on the Carpathia boat that like saves them, and she gets her hand in the jacket and she finds the heart of the ocean, the big
Because
necklace.
Cal was gentlemanly
No,
enough.
no,
This is after he knows she fucked somebody else and that she doesn't love him. He's still like on the deck when this boat is sinking. He was like, "Oh, you look a fright." He takes off his own coat like a gentleman and gives her his coat after he knows like you're fucking another guy. You don't love me at all, even though I gave you this fucking like monstrosity around your neck that was like worn by royalty, and you still don't love me no matter what I do. I'm still going to give you my coat because you look cold. Like, he is a gentleman. Like, he is a fucking
no.
gentleman. He's a
That
hero.
that guy's a douche. But and spoiler alert, we find out from Rose that he kills himself like 10 years after this because he inherited all his millions, but he lost them like in the like stock market or something like that, and he kills himself. And she's like, "That's the last I ever saw of him." Huh. Also, if I was Cal, like I just feel like I thought there was a way that Cal would like track her down and kill her. Like I
He
think
should
he's a
have.
bad guy. He should.
He should have taken that fucking bullet and put it in her. She's awful.
No, 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 no.
I'm
But it.
I'm just saying that
By the way,
like she's awful and he's fine.
Rose is
I'm
that
sorry.
kind
I
of
would take
person.
one slap from him. Whatever.
Rose is that kind of
I'm
person
just, you can
that.
take the note of it, whatever. If you want to take this time out, if I could one hit from him. If anybody says they would, obviously there's no excuse for domestic violence. But I'm sorry, it's one like soap opera slap. You're going to tell me you're not going to be with like a billionaire if he slaps you once? If you
I,
say that, I'm going to fucking slap you. That's a dumb choice. You can
so
personally take note of this.
you would let Elon Musk with his his human growth hormone muscles. You would let not Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos. You'd let Jeff Bezos smack you once.
What? Are you kidding? Myself over and over. It's like literally a like soap opera slap of like a back of the hand once. You kidding? It's not. I'm not taking a punch from Mike Tyson. I'm not even taking
Oh
an
my
ear bite from Mike
god,
Tyson.
you're
I'm taking
Annabelle.
a back of the
You're
hand
insane.
slap.
You're insane.
Ryan,
You're insane.
anybody who one slap, say it's like one slap. Are you
Oh my
kidding? I'm
god,
sorry. You wouldn't take
that's
one slap.
insane.
You wouldn't take one
No,
slap. Oh,
no,
everyone, you're lying. You're a liar. One
no.
slap
No, but
for
Rose.
$1 billion.
Back to this Rose. Rose, when she's laying on the
I'm
bed,
gonna slap you.
Rose is the kind of person when
You're
she's
an
laying on
idiot.
that boat and Leonardo DiCaprio's holding on. She's the kind of person that would like fart. She'd be like, "Oops."
Ryan! That's the most disturbing word. Everyone says moist is the most disturbing word. No.
Fart.
The F word, I refuse to
Wait,
say the F
no, no.
word. We've talked about this. Ryan, I will never say this word. It's disgusting.
Annabelle doesn't like making love either. She's like when people make
Ryan!
love.
Ryan, that's disgusting. Stop it, please.
Wait. We have. Wait,
I'd rather
I
bang.
I never got to talk to. So we've talked about
Please gang bang.
We've talked about Jamie Kennedy on this show before, and I hosted the Jeff Lewis after show with Jamie Kennedy the other
How
day,
was
and
he?
he was fine. He was fine. I'd never met him before.
Was
It
he
turned out
wearing
fine.
gray swamp pants? Was he
No,
having
but
a
I will.
John
But
Hamm situation?
Annabelle, I will say, Jeff Lewis came in. It was already like they brought up Jamie's
His
big
huge dick?
dong,
What?
his huge dick. Yes, I guess it's like a well-known thing. And I said, you know what? I wasn't going to say this, but I said I didn't say your name, but I said I have a friend that also. And he's
Name
like,
drop me.
because I didn't want to say like if you
TMJ
did.
from fucking blowing him. I deserve a name drop.
Annabelle, the TMJ joke was brought up by Jeff in regards to another person. And I
He's giving other people TMJ. Now I'm jealous.
well, then Jamie got all paranoid. It was like, and I was like, no, it's all good things. I just said she just confirmed that you are like well endowed. Like that's it. Like I said, it was all good things, no bad things. Because he got all worried all of a sudden because he was like, I wasn't going around like sleeping with everybody. I was like, no, I didn't say that. Like none of us said that.
No,
But,
you were just going around letting your dick get sucked. Your I'm not even dick.
oh
That
my
doesn't.
God.
He literally his Titanic sized cock. Like insane. Like I probably think that's the reason him and
Yeah.
Jennifer
Well, they brought it. They did. They brought it. They brought up Jennifer Love Hewitt too, and I was cracking up. And
His
then
is like, as Tim describes it, there's difference between like long-term dick and like vacation dick. Like his is vacation. That's
wait,
not
who's Tim?
he's like my best friend here. Like he's like one
Oh,
of my
okay.
best friends.
Okay.
He's gay. Like he's the one who great listening skills, Ryan. No, he's the one who didn't know who Victor Garber is until I showed Alias.
Got it.
A gainer. He like we were talking about like former guys or whatever, and he's like, no, there's like a difference between like vacation dick and like long-term relationship dick. And he's like, no, he's like, I was with one guy where he's like, no, that is not long-term. He's like, that's not long-term relationship dick. That's vacation dick because I'd never be able to take that every day. And that's like probably why Jennifer Love Hewitt like split, because he literally like he literally would split her in half.
Oh my God.
I saw that and I was terrified. I only slept with one person at that time. So I was like, if he's my second, that will be like a snuff film. Like if I have sex with him, I will die.
Well, I mean, speaking of sex, though, to bring it back to
Titanic, he would have fucking sunk me. He's insane.
God, what an amazing, like, by the way, nobody in that room when I was talking about, like, nobody was calling up talking about my dick. Like, nobody was, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody was like, I love that there's like tons of people talking about Jamie Kennedy. Nobody's ever talked about, like.
Because I can't afford that level of Patreon, Ryan. What level of Patreon?
somebody.
The baddies get for that baddie con. So why don't you show that baddie?
No, I've gotten like things like, it's fine. It's fine.
Your survey, that's
it's fine.
The review you get.
Not bad. It's not bad. It's fine.
Out of the stars, out of 5 stars, you think you get like a 3-star review?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
All right.
I
like a 3 dick review. Okay.
What do you think? What do you think Jack's packing?
Jax Taylor?
Jack Dawson from the movie Titanic.
Oh, I thought you said Jax. And I was just Jax
Taylor.
I think he's like probably average. Like I don't think I think his like charisma makes up for it.
Well, that's the other thing, because they at one point in the movie, you guys, they're like getting chased around, or they're like sneaking away from like Cal's bodyguard, and they get into the room where the cars are, and then they end up. This is the scene where Annabelle in 3rd grade couldn't watch it because her mom covered her eyes. They had sex in that car, right?
Yes, and granted, I've had sex with 3 people, so it's not like I'm the most experienced. But like, I was trying to figure out what position are they doing if she has her hand, but like you can't see their body.
Yeah, because the hand. There's a famous shot of the hand on the window of the car.
No, whose hand is it? He's very big into hands, because Jackson, when she's like, oh, you fancied this woman, when she's looking through like the nude pictures, and he's like, that was a one-legged prostitute, and she was like, oh, you like this girl.
Wait. Remember? By the way, no, I don't. But by the way, that's another offensive part of this movie where she's like, oh, you like this girl, and she says like, oh, no, don't worry, she's a one-legged prostitute. Like one-legged prostitutes don't deserve to be loved. Like he's like, no,
sir, it's one-legged sex worker.
Yeah, one-legged sex.
Fucking be correct.
But like, I love that she's like, oh no, there's no way I fancied her because she was a one-legged prostitute. Like that's like, I love that was the reason.
I just liked her hands. I'm like, I like that Jax Dawson was like a reverse Quentin Tarantino. Quentin's all about the feet, and he's like, I like the hands. I didn't understand. Now, granted, I have massive hands. I have giant hands. I don't know what was that. Was that Jack's hand or like Rose's hand?
It was probably Jack had the more dainty hand, so I bet. But also, like, if they had sex in the back of that car, it had to have been really quick, and he couldn't have. My whole thought process is he couldn't have had a massive Jamie Kennedy dong, because it would have been like,
she would have been screaming. They would have been able to find them immediately.
Yeah, I mean, and also I don't know like what the condom situation was back there, but like they raw dogged, and
condoms then? Wait, it was 19. What was it? 1912. That what
They
happened?
had no, they still had Probalap. They had
Hey
something.
Siri, first
Series
condom.
like Annabelle, please let's not do this
First
again.
recorded use of condoms was in Egypt in 1350 BC.
See,
1350.
see.
Well, Ryan, you notoriously never use them. So what type of advice are you going to give?
No, so, but so, uh, that's a good one. No, they don't make them that small. Hey, so,
That's right.
no, but the other thing is, my all thought was like, Jack could have gotten her pregnant, but you know what? Like, Jack could have gotten Rose pregnant, and that was the other thing I was thinking. Like, but
Ooh, do you
obviously,
think that's her like
you
do
think,
you think that's
oh
the
my
granddad
god,
like of
that
like
just came to me of like, oh, like on the boat, she's like, sorry to tell you, your dad's not your real dad. It was Jack.
of like it's like because there wasn't Maury back then, like how like
Yeah, yeah. Jack Dawson is not the father. Never let
and then
go.
they
Never.
they run around, they're like, yeah, and they high five the crowd, and then like
Yeah.
so like
And
mom's always like crying.
Fabrizio is like, all right, arrivederci. All right,
And he's like,
arrivederci.
normally I'm the father. Like one of the most unrealistic parts of this movie is when they're like in the like peasant, like in the downstairs, like dancing scene when like Fabrizio like grabs one. He's like, is it okay if I put my hand here? And I'm like, the most unrealistic part of this is like a young Italian guy, especially in that time, being like, is it okay, ma'am, if I put my hand here? Like, are you kidding me? Like, no.
Well, okay. Anyway, they're in the car boinking, and they like that's the other thing. Like he had to have been just average because then she's still running around. She's not like I don't. And
She's
by the way,
not running weird.
well, then the people that are like in charge of like they're looking for Jack and Rose, and I would have loved a line of like, oh my god, it smells like pig shit in here, like because.
Ew. During coitus that ew.
Oh, I'm sorry. Jamie Kennedy smells like roses, I guess. Sorry.
Yes, like I'm literally roses and diamonds. Like life
Wait.
isn't all diamonds and rose. No, that's Jamie Kennedy's cock. Like that is.
Speaking of Fabrizio, I wanted. Okay, so when this movie came out, AOL like instant messenger, like they'd like. Do you remember they'd have like chat rooms on AOL?
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
I go in the instant chat room. I was
me and my friend Susie, we were such assholes. We would get in these these rooms, and there was a Titanic role playing room. Like that's how big this movie was. There was Titanic, and so they would be like role acting like Fabrizio and stuff like that. And we would get in there and we'd be like. We'd be like, Fabrizio, I need to take a dump, and like we would like ruin, and we would get kicked out of the rooms. We would get like they'd be like, ignore them, they're not taking it seriously, and I forgot about that. That's so funny.
And then, like Fabrizio, and then like, who wants to ride my giant breadstick? Yeah. Like he's literally the biggest.
The Olive Garden.
Like him and Tommy when they like meet, like when they're on like the deck or whatever, and Jack sees her for the first time, which is like one of the sexiest which is like to me one of the most romantic moments from a movie, which like is not very big. There's the scene in Scarface where when he like first sees like Michelle Pfeiffer and like his like the look on his face. Like if a guy ever remembered even like seeing me for the first time where he wasn't like, yeah, I heard her like baby stripper voice screeching and that's how I saw her. But like if a guy like remembered like the first time he saw me and like seeing that, like that would like absolutely like that would kill me. Like that would like absolutely melt me. But like when he sees her for the first time.
When she's trying to kill herself?
Well, no, when he sees her for the first time, like on the deck, and like Tommy and Tommy the Irish guy and like Fabrizio, like Tommy the leprechaun, like the stereotypes in this, and like they're so cordial to each other. And I'm like, another fake thing. An Italian and an Irishman would never be that nice to each other, especially in that time. Are you fucking kidding me? One of them would throw each other off. But like, yeah, that's like the first time he sees her, and it is like so romantic because they're like he's like waving his hand in front of like Jack's face of like, because he's like instantly like obsessed with her, like instantly like manically in love with her. Which the thing is, it's like that's why like what crimes of passion is like a legitimate thing in court, because like I feel like nothing makes like the worst choices than like when you're in a relationship, like when you're in love with somebody, like that's when you make the worst choices possible.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Hey, Annabelle, we got to stop it right here because I got to stop getting ready. So what's your, I think we can finish this up in like an hour.